Part 2, we're going to be looking at some more techniques for animating the rotors. This time from the side of the helicopter, so we're going to animate the tail and main rotors. So blank slide again, I'm just literally going to insert my graphics. So to start off with, I'm going to go to left side no blades because that's the one I want in my presentation. Size that one quite simply, and I'm just going to put that one down into this corner just for a second so I've got a bit more room on my slide to get the rest of the assets in. So back to pictures, and I'm going to go to the blades now, and I'm going to select front and rear and also the hub. So to do that easily, I can select control, so select that one there, select that one there, select that one there, 3, and insert, and you can see they all come into my presentation. I'm just going to size them slightly just to get them somewhere near the correct size I want. We can always adjust the sizes a bit later on, so just a bit smaller. That's about right really for the blades. Just to keep this presentation short, I won't do it exactly. Just put the hub in position, and I'm just going to resize that one slightly down as well to make it a bit more of a realistic size. What I can do is select that hub, right click, and I'm going to send to back so it sits behind the rest of the image, which is quite cool. And what I'm going to do is just move those out the way so I can get the hub and the aircraft in position. So shift click those and bring them in the center like so. Now just going to position my blades somewhere realistically where they would be, something like that. So that's the main blade. So you can see they're actually still too big. Alright, just for quickness I'll do this, not exact, but you get the gist. If you were to do this, you would make sure these were the same size and you'd do it properly. But just for speed, I'm going to do this a little bit more quickly. Last but not least, I'm going to insert my tail rotor. So tail, insert, and just make that slightly smaller as well so we can get that in position like so. That's roughly the size. It looks possibly a little bit too big, but it'll do for this presentation. Now to animate them, we're going to select the tail rotor, again animations, our good old spin. So we're going to spin that one round like that, and what we're going to do is drop that one down, effect options as always, and we're going to go to timing. We're going to go 0.5 of a second, and we're going to repeat it till the end of the next slide. So again, I want that to rotate until I click off the slide. Just have a look at the clockwise. Let's have a look at the blade. I think they're anti-clockwise on this one. Don't quote me, but I think they are. And you can see now when I select Shift F5 to play this slide and click the animation, you can see now my rotor blades are now spinning lovely, just where we want them to do. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of a technique to animate the rotors now, so it just looks like it's visually turning. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use the pulse. Okay, so I'm going to drop that down, and there should be a pulse there, which is brilliant. And you can see by doing that, it will just pulse that visual item just to make it look like it's kind of pulsing in and out. So effect options, quite simple on this one. I'm just going to keep the duration like that, and I'm going to again until next slide. So I want that one to pulse until I click off the slide. What I'm going to do is just start with previous, because I want that to pulse the same as when I animate the tail rotors. So now if I go to Shift F5, you can see it pulses. Now it's just like a visual fudge really, but it works quite well. Now to do the blades, that's quite simple. I'm just going to select that hub, and if you need to copy an animation on the same animation onto another graphical element, it's very easy in PowerPoint. We can use the tool called the animation painter, and what that does, it just copies the animation data onto a next element. It's very quick. So I'm going to select the hub, animation painter. I'm just going to select that blade there, and what I'm going to do again with that blade selected, I'm going to select animation painter. I'm going to select the front page as well. So now if I was to select Shift F5 again to play the animation, you can see now we've got this visual kind of fudge really, which looks like the blades are turning, and it works quite well, and it just gives you a kind of indication of the blades turning. They're not really turning, but hey, it's PowerPoint. We've just got to make the best of what we've got. So that the untrained eye looks like the rotors are turning, so it's pretty cool. So that's the end of this section. In the next one we're going to move on to another couple of little ideas on how we animate the rotors.